So Lease of Life is all about the fact that, we have life for quite a short period of time, and it's a gift, it's a blessing, whichever way you look at it. And you don't know how much time you've got. And I like this idea of the play of the words, because people use this term lease of life to say, I've got a new lease of life, I'm feeling full of energy. And at the same time, there's this other idea that, you have it for a short period of time and it's precious, and that's what the whole album is about.
Some say it's much too late. Some say try something. I know that still is time. Past, present, future now.
So there's 14 songs on the album, and it is quite different Lease of Life to the predecessor, Songs from the Soul. Songs from the Soul was really about me. It's really about somebody finding self. It is about who am I, why am I here. It's more of a serious album in a way than Lease of Life. Lease of Life is an expression of life. It's about life in all of its ups and downs, its highs and lows, its challenges. And so it starts out with In Life, this very up-tempo song. And then you've heard that, and then the next thing is Get Back Up Again. Thunder, lightning, pouring down with rain. I felt so cold and low, like I was dead. It's like somebody who's lucky again to have this new lease of life, and it's like saying that I heard this voice say, you've got to get back up and live your life again. So, this triumphant thing about that there's another chance to live your life again. So it starts out very upbeat, and it's all about life. And so it's this long, it's a longer kind of collection of songs with 14 songs. And for example, and it started out with a song called Take Flight, because at that time I kind of felt that I wanted to in some way, shape or form take flight. I wanted something new, I wanted something to change, something to evolve. So the album started with Take Flight. And then this whole set of songs, bit by bit, came together as the album that it is.
Disappointment guaranteed. Life don't make no promises.
The album does take us through a journey. I was saying, it starts off with this In Life and then Get Back Up Again and Take Flight. And then I love this. I wrote two songs pretty near together. One was called Something Good. And Something Good is like sung in this falsetto, and it's this kind of like the exhilaration of life, the fun things, the expression of life, or the playful things of life. So Something Good. And then I was writing a song. There was a song on there called Disappointment Guaranteed, which is one of my favourite songs on the album. I wrote it one night, and it just so happened that I was due to be in the recording studio the next day with John Hamilton, the producer. I've got to be thankful for again. The similarity with the last album is, again, John is on production duties for all but one song, as with last time where Reen Kofi on Time to Heal, where she produces that. But so we've got this idea of this Something Good and Disappointment Guaranteed, and I knew straight away that they had to go back to back, because in life something good will happen and then there's going to be disappointment. And I guess that's again a link with what all my material is about, this expression of life. And then it just takes you deep into a journey. Then we find ourselves after a while, the songs like Walking Out in Love, everyone has that experience about heartache. And then there's this song called In the Wilderness, which is one of the highlights, perhaps vocally, of the album. And I was quite inspired when I wrote that. One of my favourite albums when I was a kid growing up was Ingenue by Katie Lang, and I wanted to write a song as though it could be on that album. And In the Wilderness is that. It's kind of a melancholy song. So then this album takes you deep into this wilderness. And then you've got these songs like, they've got this jazzy song, You're No Good For Me, thrown into it, which is, people know the jazzy side of me, and there's this song called The Mystery. And even when I wrote this song, The Mystery, it's kind of a misfit in the album, it's kind of a quirky song. And then A Time to Heal, which is the track that Reen did, comes back in, and it goes up tempo again, and then it ends with a couple of classic, I guess, Rasheed territory. Don't be afraid to fall in love, because you may have been hurt, there may have been ups and downs in life, but you cannot be afraid to love either life itself or on that personal level. So that's in there. And there's this song which I would dedicate to my mum, probably, Love You All My Life. And it's one of those songs that whether somebody's dedicating it to friends, to family, or to a partner, that's what that song's about. And then it ends kind of up-tempo. We've got The Future Is Now, because I like that thing about being very, very present. And then it ends with a really up-tempo song, Love's Gonna Get You, which is one of the last songs that I actually recorded. And so it's topped and tailed, where it's up-tempo, then it takes you through the journey of life, lease of life, all the way through.
You and me, it's time to love, it's time for us, it's time to heal, it's time to feel, it's time to love, it's time to give, it's time to live, it's time to learn, it's time to turn to you and me, it's time to love, it's time for us.
This is an interesting album sonically, I guess, because I guess lots of people know me first and foremost maybe for the ballads, or some people know I used to sing jazz and so on. I think with this album I wanted to do something that was a little bit more contemporary, and I think that I evolved in my ability to do that actually during the journey of this album, because I mentioned that Take Flight was one of the first songs I did. And so it's the first song was kind of introducing newer kind of sounds really, and then by the time we did In Life I'm really proud of, because I think the job that John and I did together in terms of selecting the samples and working on that, you'll hear it's a far more up-tempo, it's a bit more contemporary, kind of a dancey kind of sound, and I just love the mesh of the blend of these different sounds. But at the same time you've still got those, for me, the very traditional Rasheed Ogunlaru ballads, those timeless ballads like I Love You All My Life and Don't Be Afraid to Fall in Love, which I wanted to have this really timeless thing and in the wilderness. So you've got this kind of mixture, but I feel as though how it sits as an album really works. I think that the key to this album was actually as an album, as always with any album, is what's the order you're going to put the songs in to make sense of those different sounds. And so it starts off up tempo, it chills down, it mellows down, and it has these other up and quirky moments, and then it takes you into this ballady territory, and then it ends up like that roller coaster of life. But I think that I've got the blend of the different sounds working. I'm very pleased with this album sonically, and the job that we've done. I feel as though we've evolved from the last album, Songs from the Soul. So I'm really, really excited about it, and I'm looking forward to what people make of it.
I got caught up in the rain, in all the pain, in all those silly, silly games, and so we end up consumed by hate, burned by rage. Is fear the only road we take? I don't wanna fight no more than you do, darling. I don't wanna hurt no more, do you? I don't wanna hurt no more than you do, darling. Why are we walking, walking, walking out on love? Why are we walking, walking, walking